Welcome to your Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all of your Houston County news. I'm Caitlin Heck. Each week we are taking you through what's happening in Houston, Warner Robins, Robbins Air Force Base, and your neighborhood. And as we kick off a new year, for the first time in over half a century, a newly elected sheriff is in Houston County. Matt Moulton took his oath of office on December 30th, about 2 months after winning with 59% of the vote. Freya Barr sat down with Moulton as he takes over the department.
A new chapter's unfolding in Houston County as Sheriff Matt Moulton takes the seat of his predecessor, the legendary Colin Talton, our nation's longest-serving sheriff until his passing in October.
He never interfered in how we managed our own division. If he had questions, he would ask us why we're doing something that way, and if you could articulate what you were doing and why you were doing it, he supported you and allowed you to do your job.
But the new sheriff recognizes it's a job that's always evolving.
He never had a computer on his desk. Never did.
Not even that one back there?
They said that is the first computer that Houston County has ever purchased for the sheriff of Houston County.
While January marks 30 years for Moulton in law enforcement, he still had plenty to learn at the Sheriff's Select Academy.
It was like drinking water from a fire hydrant. It was so much information, and I thought I knew a lot. And I learned that I didn't know hardly anything.
From the history of the sheriff's office, constitutional and statutory mandates, and the duties in his new role.
With what Sheriff Talton has done for this agency and for the county for 52 years, I'm not saying he's made my job easy, because this is a very difficult job, but I don't have it near as bad as a lot of newly elected sheriffs that I was in class with.
And during the campaign, Moulton's admitted he's his own worst critic. At training, he learned how that could hurt him, as another sheriff shared a personal experience.
He took everything to heart, and he tried to do everything. He had a heart attack in his first year as sheriff. What he stressed to us was build a good team around you and trust them to do their job.
Top priorities include higher quality employees.
Houston County has always had high standards, and I'm not going to lower the standards just to get deputies.
And targeting at-risk youth through choosing healthy activities and methods.
And they have this program that they put together, and we can send our school resource officers. So we're one of few counties in the state that does not teach the CHAMPS program.
Other goals include updating the standard operating procedures for the department and begin the process of accreditation through the Georgia Sheriff's Association.
I wouldn't be here without the community, without the citizens of Houston County who trusted me to do the job.
Moulton was nominated and elected as president of his class during his training period at the Sheriff's Select Academy. Since taking office, he has been swearing in deputies, but is still looking for more. So if you'd like to apply for a position in the Houston County Sheriff's Office, Moulton says you can go to the Sheriff's Office website or call his office. We have all those details for you at 13WMAZ.com. Well, a number of local school boards are pushing to opt out of a newly enacted state law designed to protect homeowners from big spikes in property tax values. Well, school districts in central Georgia are scheduling public hearings to opt out of House Bill 581, also known as the Save Our Homes Act. Nearly 63% of voters across the state said yes to the homestead exemption question on the ballot. That exemption would put a cap on tax hikes on residential homes. But the law approved by voters gives local governments a one-time chance to opt out. Naomi Washington shares why some central Georgia school boards say they want to take that chance.
For homeowners, House Bill 581 promises tax relief while maintaining the market value of their property. But Bibb County Superintendent Dan Sims says opting into the bill would cost the school system a lot.
We already did research and going back to 2018 to show if we were to have opted into this kind of bill from 2018 to the present, it would have cost us in upwards of $3.7 million.
Houston County School District says they can't afford to opt in either because House Bill 581 will limit how much property owners are taxed, but not the share the state collects from their millage rate revenue. They sent 13 WMAZ a statement that reads, House Bill 581 could reduce the amount of funding we are able to collect while increasing the amount the state withholds from our state funding. Sims says Bibb Schools is already doing their part by keeping the millage rate fair.
Even now, if you look at our millage rate, it's at a reasonable rate, and that combined with us opting out is going to put us in the best position to continue to be a strong functioning resource in this community.
Houston School District says the financial consequences of opting into House Bill 581 could cause them to raise their millage rate in the future. They haven't done that in 16 years. Both districts say they will use their hearings as a chance to educate taxpayers on their decisions.
When I voted, none of the details were included in the yes, no, and it's our job to make sure that we can uncover and peel back the hood and peel back the layers to help people better understand the implications behind us opting out.
Now, that opt-out process involves holding 3 public hearings for you to attend and voice your concerns or support. Houston County's first public hearing will be at Langston Road Elementary School in Perry, January 13th at 6:30 p.m. With winter weather arriving here in central Georgia, power companies are getting prepared for any possible outages. Hunter King explains how crews got ready.
As temperatures drop, power crews raise their guard, and ice posing the biggest threat to power lines. Jerry Drasny is a line worker for Flint Energy's, Houston County's largest energy provider.
Ice is the biggest factor that we are concerned about. So when ice starts building up on our power lines and on the tree limbs, it also causes weight on the wires as well as on the tree limbs.
Georgia Power monitors the changing forecast, and according to Amanda Arnold, crews are moving into position across the state.
We do monitor the weather year-round, but especially this time of year, we know that we are more prone to winter storms. And so when this came up a few days ago, we began talking about what we need to do to make sure that we have the resources available.
Flint Energy serves 73% of Houston County. The company says it has strengthened its system since past storms. Ahead of the winter weather tomorrow, crews repair this line in Warner Robbins.
We've built extra infrastructure. We've added some substations within the area to help with that we had that we experienced, on that Christmas Eve a few years ago. So, I think we're in better shape than we have been in the past.
Both companies are asking customers to be patient if there are outages, and they say crews will work to restore power as soon as it's safe.
Call Flint. Make sure that you've reported your power being out, and give us space and have as much patience as you can.
Reporting in Warner Robbins, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
Now, if you're a Georgia Power customer, you can track any outages at georgiapower.com/outage. Flint Energy asks customers to call them directly to report problems. That number is 478-988-3500. Again, 478-988-3500. Well, we've seen some freezing temperatures this week, and when it gets to be that time, it's time to take action to protect the 3 Ps: your pets, your plants, and your pipes. Freya Bar shares some essential tips to help you stay ahead of the cold.
If it's too cold for you outside, it's too cold for your pet.
It's just as important to make sure you're keeping your warm-blooded companions cozy in the cold months. Dr. Bernard Hodges and Joshua Sims at Critter Fixers in Bon Air advise you to ensure you're taking the same precautions for your furry friends as you are for yourself.
I would just say try to avoid leaving them outside for long periods of time. Bring them in to get their water and food, and just make sure they're warm and comfortable. In the wintertime, we all get cold, so let's make sure our pets are warm and comfy and toasties.
One way to do that when taking your dog out on a walk or to potty is by putting them in a sweater if they're comfortable wearing clothes. As for vulnerable plants in your yard, it's helpful to wrap them in blankets when the overnight temperatures drop to freezing. Now, when it comes to the water in your home, it's better to take precautions during the warm months to ensure your pipes are prepared for the cold. Insulating them is the best practice, according to Central Georgia plumber Chuck Scully.
And the best you can do now is to insulate the hose spigots, anything exterior, let the water run inside, and it doesn't have to run full speed, just almost like a pencil width of water.
Keeping that spigot outside your home insulated with a cover from the store or a towel, and keeping one faucet in your home flowing overnight will keep your water from freezing in the pipes. If they do freeze, Scully suggests you warm your pipes safely with a space heater or hair dryer.
If your pipes are on an exterior wall, like in your kitchen or something like that, open up the cabinets. That'll let the warm air from the house kind of circulate through there.
Always better just to be safe than sorry, and take those precautions just to make sure you're prepared for the cold. Well, it is always an experience to see a crane smash a building, and the city of Warner Robbins is looking to see a lot more of that in 2025. In fact, you can see a building in Warner Robbins fall the first week of February. Megan Western shares what other strides leaders made at their council meeting in the hopes of making that dream a reality.
What is your yearly affirmation?
This is the year of physical manifestation for us.
In the city of Warner Robins, Mayor LaRhonda Patrick says their goal is to continue making good on their promises. You know, like the ones that have been rumored for years about turning Commercial Circle into the international city's downtown space.
The downtown won't be in existence this year, but you're going to start seeing those physical signs that it's coming.
In 2024, that was knocking down 2 buildings, and in 2025, they hope it'll be a lot more. Monday night, council agreed to put $57,000 toward demolition and asbestos removal for these buildings on North Commercial Circle. And according to the city clerk, this former church building will fall the first week of February.
And that's what people want to see. We want to see action, and we're going to continue to do that.
Councilman Charlie Bibb says this action spans more than just the circle.
Our infrastructure and the upgrades that we're doing means a lot, billions of dollars coming into our city, which is huge.
All coming from future businesses and people looking to invest in the community. But for the people already living in it, Councilman Clifford Holmes is looking to make a shift in the narrative.
Because I very rarely hear good comments about what's happening in Post 5.
Post 5 is Holmes's district. It also includes Commercial Circle.
We are hoping that the work we are getting ready to do will change the attitude of the people that's giving criticism.
Reaffirming that this is the year of physical manifestation. In Warner Robins, Megan Western, 13 WMAZ News.
At their next council meeting on January 21st, the UJ College of Engineering will present some conceptual plans that they've been working on for the circle. Those include architecture and infrastructure ideas. Meanwhile, 2 hotels in Perry writing very different chapters right now. At the Georgia National Fairgrounds, construction crews are building what will become a new gateway for convention visitors. But in downtown Perry, the demolition of a historic landmark has left people wondering what's next. Hunter King shows us how these 2 projects are shaping Perry's future.
The skyline at the Georgia National Fairgrounds is transforming. A new hotel is taking shape, on track to welcome its first guests this summer. The 129-room Fairfield and Town Place Suites will connect directly to the fairground's largest convention center, adding a new chapter to Perry's growth story. But downtown, a different story. Last July, crews demolished the historic New Perry Hotel, leaving behind memories and questions about what comes next.
I was a little bummed that they demolished the hotel, because, it's kind of like one of those pieces of history. It's neat to have things like that.
While developers envision a 3-story mixed-use building here, they've still not submitted plans for city approval. Taylor Giles says he hopes whatever comes next adds to downtown's energy.
I always like live music, so something that would have some live music, possibly another good place to eat would be really cool. Something that would bring like the down-home feel of Perry.
But Jacob Bryant, on the other hand, sees a chance for something different.
I want to go the other way. Let's get children out there and let's make it as bright as possible and fun for kids.
According to the city of Perry, whatever replaces the new Perry Hotel will need to maintain downtown's historic character, which is regulated by the Main Street Advisory Board. But for now, it's 2 hotel properties, 2 different futures. One rising to meet Perry's growing population, the other waiting for its next chapter to be written. In Perry, Hunter King, 13 WMAZ News.
I'm excited to see what that next chapter will be. The hotel at the fairgrounds is scheduled to open this summer. Back up the road, developers for the downtown site must present their plans to the Main Street Advisory Board before any construction can begin. Well, this week we learned about a plan in place to transfer 100.9 The Creek radio station over to Visit Macon. An FCC filing shows the request made by Moonhanger Group owner Wes Griffith and partner Rob Evans to transfer the radio license over to Visit Macon. Griffith told us that they are waiting to finalize the deal when it's approved. The filing shows Visit Macon would pay Griffith and Evans $200,000 for the rights to the radio station. Griffith says he is proud of the Creek team and thanked everyone in Macon, Perry, and Warner Robins for their support. Well, that is a wrap on what's happening throughout the Robbins region this week. If you have a Houston County story you want us to share, go ahead and email it to us at news@13wmaz.com. And make sure you come back each Friday to get all your Houston County news and stories that matter to you. Thanks for joining us for your Robbins Regional Wrap.